And now,
Laugh all you want. I'm the one who's gonna be on TV.
from TTR Studios,
I can't quite remember how that one goes. I gotta admit, I'm a little high.
No, Biggie, I'm cool.
it's Lucdogg in the morning.
Yo, what's up, y'all? This is Skater D.
Hey, I'm John Charles Meyer, producer of Dave Made a Maze.
Hey, what's up? This is Scott Ladotti, author of Play the Devil, and you are listening to Lucdogg.
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 This is Andy fucking Cruz from SiriusXM 415, and you're listening to Lucdogg in the morning.
#1 podcast in the world. Yeah, boy.
Welcome back, folks. It's your boy Lucdogg hanging out with you on another goddamn Friday. It's sunny outside and my XR is on the way. So welcome to the show, my wonderful friends. That is correct. My new one wheel is in the mail, and I'll probably have to get up in the middle of this show to go get it from the door. Belly Matt LaBelle producing and running the show from right here at TTR Studios. How are you this morning, my friend?
Doing fantastic. Good to be here, as always.
It's good to have you, as always. And, of course, Matty Potts from the Santa Monica newsroom across the country. What's up, my brother from another mother?
Greetings and salutations. Do we start this show an hour earlier every week? Because I swear I am struggling right now.
I know, man. And like I said, I appreciate you guys waking up super early at the ass crack of dawn. It's dark outside. The sun is still coming up where he is. Belly got home about 3 hours ago from his job last night. No big deal. We're all here to bring it as per usual. So thanks for hanging out with us on another Friday. We do this every Wednesday and Friday, 10 a.m. right here on channel TTR Studios. Huge show today. I'm going fast because we got to get to the platonic friendships that do not exist from an opposite sex, or between two people who are. Yeah, I don't think two gay people can have platonic friendships of the same sex. I'm putting it that way. Whoever you're attracted to, impossible to have a platonic friendship with that sex. Not happening. And I will make that argument in about 30 seconds. But Potts has a huge one for us today. Could you date somebody with the same name as your mom?
Or dad.
Or ex? I would like to take it that far.
Or sister, brother.
Sister.
Yeah.
Like, just dating names to avoid.
Yep.
Because that's an immediate swipe left.
Or trigger names that you just automatically see and you're automatically attracted to, too. I mean,
Belly likes Megans.
Megans, yeah. Megans.
Really? A little Megan fetish. That's funny.
Yeah.
But now I'm thinking, yeah, what would be worse? Mom, sister, or ex? Because ex could be super awkward,
I couldn't
too.
do an ex. There's no way. I would not do a mom. There's no way I could do my mom, and there's no way I could do my ex.
See,
but dude, think about what you're saying. You meet you're like, holy crap, this girl. You don't even know her name, but you meet her at a bar, so you're like, wow, I met this girl in a natural way. So you're like, okay, she's cute. You're at a sports bar. She likes your sport. I mean, you are in love right now. Both of you would be totally smitten for a girl that's watching your favorite sports team at a sports bar drinking beer. And you're chatting up. You talk for 20 minutes before you even ask her name. You're so like in gaga right now. And she says, my name is, Auntie Lynn.
Hopefully it's not Auntie Lynn. Yeah, if it was Lynn, my mom's name is Lynn. If it was Lynn, I'd be like, nope, sorry.
See, mom or dad's name doesn't weird me out as much because you don't call them by their name,
You
right?
really don't. That's a good point I was thinking. You don't call your significant other by their name that often.
But guys, I'm not thinking about, hey, Maria, what's going on? I'm thinking about when you're like, oh, Maria. Oh, even that.
Yeah, you see? That's his mom's name. That's disgusting.
I mean, it's a little tough. Now, I will tell you, it is an instance in my immediate family. My brother-in-law's name is Mark, and my dad's name is Mark.
Oh, interesting. So your sister has to deal with this.
Yeah, my sister has to.
Can we get
deal
her
with
on the
this.
show?
Maybe not today, but...
All right, let's get a text out to her.
Definitely can never date a Mark. I mean, obviously.
No, she married
a guy named Mark.
I thought like you had a brother that was Mark Jr.
Let's get her on.
I
have a brother-in-law.
Oh, wow, okay.
Can we get a text? Shoot her a text.
I don't even have my phone. I don't bring my phone in here.
So now, does your brother-in-law have a nickname? I mean, you have to have like?
Well, hold
Mark
on. Let's get some.
No, me and her have talked about this specific thing before, and she says it's like, I just have never thought his dad as Mark. It's not a name she even associates
Yeah,
with
that's
dad.
true. You don't call your parents
I
by
gotta
their
be honest,
names.
I
that
feel like it
often.
might be different for a girl because like girls always are like, like daddy's little, like, I don't know. I don't think a girl, like, I think girls are attracted to people that are like their father in a lot of cases. So I'm not sure how, like, subconsciously that almost might be a plus for a girl in a way.
Let's
I don't
do
know.
this. Let's
I've
do
gone
this.
out with a
Since
girl
like
with my mom's
literally
name.
10 seconds ago, you guys told me to start with something other than this. Let's let Belly text his sister and see if he can get her on. I will set up what we were talking about to preview from last show, and then we can go more into dating names as we get into this show. It's so easy once the lights go on to just hit the ground running because we're very good at it.
And Belly, I'd be interested to hear from your sister.
Now,
I'd
my
be interested
thing
to hear
is-
what she'd say.
He's hitting on your sister right now. In
My
front of you.
thing is right now is I could not date anyone with my sister's name. That's way too weird for me. Like, it's like,
See,
no, you
I
have my
don't know if
sister's
I-
name. Get out of here, please. I don't care how hard you are. Get out of here.
All right,
I
so we're
don't
staying
know if
here
I've
now.
dated.
So I guess we're staying here. So let's just stay here. I think the worst possible is to have an ex because that's going to remind you of so many terrible, like, that's going to put you in a bad mindset.
Well, not only that, but I was with my ex for the better part of a decade. That name is definitely attached to my ex. So calling it something, someone else, that would be a really weird, like, kind of mind fuck, I think.
Well,
in a
I
way.
joke with you guys a lot that, well, not a lot, but I tell you that I watched the show The Magicians, and it's not the best show, but it is just, it's hooked me. It's in season 3 at this point, and I'm all, like, kind of locked in. And they do magic. It's like Harry Potter, but for adults with, like, they stab people's eyeballs out. It's like gory, but it's magic and stuff in the land of magicians. It's cool. It's actually pretty cool. However, one of the like the main character is in love with this girl who is she dies and is no longer in there.
Spoiler alert.
No, because
Spoiler alert.
Hey, does she? No. All I'll say is this: Did she really die though? Did she really die?
Yeah, because it's a magician show. They
Exactly.
can come back
so
whenever they
anything's
want.
possible, which is why me, the king of no spoilers, Belly knows. I yell at him. I'm like, no spoilers.
Yeah.
That's another thing we could talk about one day.
We can. So anyway, the girl dies. So the main character loses his girlfriend, and one of his friends says, "Let's do this spell." They do a spell where, as long as their bodies are wet, they will resemble the person that the other person wants to loves the most. So basically, she gets in the shower and turns into his ex. All of a sudden, now she looks exactly like she's still her. But she looks and feels exactly like his ex. It's like your ex is standing in front of you, but it's her. That's the personality.
Sure.
And she's like, "I'll do this for you. I'll turn into her, and I'll let you have like a goodbye night."
Oh.
Could you do that? Like that? Would that be better if that was a possibility? Do you think that'd be better
Sure.
or worse for your mindset? I think it'd be worse.
Absolutely. It's always better to have closure. I think
I
it'd be
don't
better.
know.
I bet a lot of people would do it. Think about it, if you lost a loved one, unexpectedly in a car crash or whatever. There's tons of people that would have to love to say good. Why do you think half these quacks are in business that are like, palm readers or whatever, like communicating with the dead? Because people want to believe. I mean, why do you think people believe in God? I mean, the whole thing's a sham, and
Well,
it doesn't
hold on
matter.
now. Take it easy there. I'm a little bit religious there. I believe in God.
Okay, that's fine.
I
mean, God's not real. Like, I hate to break it to you, God is not real. It's,
Okay, time out.
The
Time
Earth
out.
is based on
Oh, we're gonna get
science,
into this
dude. Like,
today.
it's a fact.
No, it's-
I mean,
okay, time
Stephen
out.
Hawkins has said it. Like, whatever. But
It's
like,
a belief.
ask-
It's a belief.
Can I
Pops.
ask you a question before? I don't want to do religion today, but can I just ask you a question since you
Whatever.
totally just sideswiped the entire religious community?
sorry.
No, it's okay. It's what you believe, but I think you lose all credibility when you say that it has to be that way, and you're right, because you can't prove it. I don't care what scientists have said. The scientists at one point thought the Earth was flat. Scientists today don't know everything that scientists 100 years from now will know.
Correct.
So for you to just say, no, I mean, well, sorry, but it's a sham, you lose all the credibility right there. I no longer listen to anybody who says that, because it's like, well, you don't know either. It's like me saying, no, Catholicism is the way. That is it. It's like, well, I don't know.
Right.
No,
Right.
man.
Right.
You know,
I mean,
so just
above.
watch
religion
Definitive.
was literally created for
It's actually
controlling
Buddhism.
people, but that's fine.
For people what?
Religion was based to control people. I mean, it's like Catholicism when they came to I don't. We don't want to get into this.
No, we
Like,
don't. But I love
deep
how
dark
that's.
rabbit hole, and I don't. Whatever.
Can I just
But-
Can I get you to at least come off of it enough to say that there's a possibility that you're wrong?
No.
I mean, I don't think I can say that.
But if you can't, then how do you
I appreciate what faith does for people.
If you
sure,
can't,
I appreciate it, and I don't look. Yeah, I'm not like looking down on someone or whatever. But the fact of the matter is, religion has been used it is religion, which is so great and everything, has been used to start more war and conflict and tons of bad things.
I'm not arguing any of that.
Supposed to be good.
I'm not arguing any of that.
Whatever.
All I'm saying is it comes down to, and this is whatever side you're on listening right now. Remember, we're a comedy show, so we're not staying here long.
Yeah.
But if you stick to a definitive side and you refuse to believe that even 1% of you is wrong, you got some thinking to do.
What I'm saying is I have no idea how the Earth was created. I sure it might be wrong, but I can tell you there's not some guy up in the clouds in the galaxy.
No, you can't.
That's
as much as I'm going to infuriate you right now, you can't tell me that because you don't definitively know it. You don't think so. You can tell me 0% of you believes it, but you can't say a definitive statement. There ain't some guy up in the sky. It sounds silly, but you can't say it if you can't prove it.
What do you think happens when we die?
We've had a lot of conversations like this. Felicity Jane would be good for this because I know she did a whole research study on this. Belly, do you have do you want to take that? We were supposed to start with platonic friendships. You see what happens?
Yeah, right. We were going good with the.
It's okay. This is good. What happens when you die, Belly?
What happens when for me, I don't know.
I got a whole theory on it.
I like reincarnation, to be honest.
I like that thought. And then deja vu is kind of like the past life, maybe bleeding in.
Past lives and things like that. That's how I would like it because I would love to live infinitely.
Well, I think the idea of not living anymore is really scary.
Yeah.
However.
Right. And you realize that's the premise that religion is based on.
But you know what somebody said to me, Potts, that actually made me feel a whole lot better about that whole anxiety. If you ever feel anxiety over that, did you ever worry about how long? Did you ever worry about that before you got here? Before you were born, did you have any?
That doesn't make me feel any better.
You have no. It's not like there's no conscious. Like you're not there to worry about.
Of course, you don't think about mortality before you're alive.
So then, why would you worry about it when you're dead?
I'm not.
That's
but you don't worry about it after you're dead. You worry about it while you're alive.
And it's not
about worrying about it when you're dead.
Mortality anxiety isn't really about yourself. It's about the people you leave behind.
Death doesn't hurt. It hurts the ones around you.
Yeah.
That is the truth.
That's what you're actually anxious about. That person didn't really solve anything for you.
Very good. I have a thought. Do you want to take it, Potts? What do you think happens when you die? 2 minutes.
You die.
You just die and that's it?
Yeah. That's
fertilizer, baby.
That's fair. Fertilizer.
Plant me. Hey, I want to do one of those things where I get planted as a new tree and then boom, I'm a tree.
Is this good radio right now? Is this good?
It's great.
I don't know if this is good radio. I feel like it's not.
I'm sure my sister is somewhere having a heart attack, or your parents are somewhere having a heart attack. So whatever. I mean,
the texters are loving that you called it the fact of the matter. Atheism is faith. Way too much creative license there. I wanted the magicians to be so much better. The books were great, man. All right. Well, thank you to the Social Media Lounge because we got to have something that's anchoring us to the ground here today.
Did you coin the phrase social media lounge?
Yeah.
It sounds like a really cozy place.
Yeah,
doesn't
it?
I bet
do they
you
have beanbag chairs there? What is going on?
They definitely have beanbag chairs and recliners.
They have to,
Describe it to the people, Belly. What do we have in the Social Media Lounge for the people?
Massage recliners.
TVs everywhere.
TVs everywhere.
And then do they have that kind of like what a lot of like Google wannabe places do where you can get like free cereal, granola bars?
No, they don't. Actually, what we have in the Social Media Lounge is we have this awesome, because I told you I'm into magicians, so we have this fairy, and anytime you need anything, whatever you're most attracted to, that person comes and brings it to you.
Wow.
It's amazing. It's amazing. You want to take a bong hit? Just think about it, and all of a sudden, Katy Perry comes and brings you a bong.
That is not how I imagined that going. But I used to have my superpower wish was, just ice cream popping up whenever I wanted it.
Gon's mania. Nothing I hate more than religion.
All right.
Look at that.
Yeah,
So we'll move on.
I'm going to come out and I'm going to grab us from this hole and I'm going to pull us out of it.
Can I at least tell you what I think happens?
Yes, what do you think?
Because this is what I think is.
Go to heaven or hell?
From when I was a kid. No. I actually kind of made a whole thing on heaven and hell.
Don't spin that. You stop that.
That's right. I like spinning. All right, so here's what I think.
I can hear it with equalized sound.
When I was a kid, I used to try to figure this stuff out. First of all, I thought it was Jesus.
What?
You thought who was Jesus?
I was Jesus.
The leopard?
Oh,
you?
You are the one.
I thought
Is that
I
why
was specially chosen. I thought I spoke to God. I thought I was the one.
Belly, is this the most severe case of only child syndrome you've ever heard in your life?
No comment.
Yeah, I almost feel like we need to have an intervention.
That's fair. I didn't say I still feel this way. I'm just saying.
I mean, this is the same guy that's writing letters to leprechauns and Santa Claus.
Oh, I was
what
a
the
fucking
hell?
weird-
What planet
Sorry to
is this
take you
kid
away
on?
from your family, bro.
Yeah. Just hang out for a day, and then we'll let you back to your pot of gold. I was a weird kid.
Right. I mean, at least he's a reasonable, he's a reasonable crazy person. That's fine.
This is why he leads the ship, though, because he's ready to go and has all this stuff.
I can take it anywhere. So what I would say was, I used to think that, put it this way, maybe if you're in hell, you're stuck. They say you're stuck for eternity with the worst life possible, right? It's just demons and fire and torture and all that. Okay, and heaven is the opposite. What if you died and you're left with your conscience for eternity?
To your ghost.
So if you die and really you have a whole lot of regrets and you feel like you're a good person, but deep down you really hate the fact that you cheated on your wife and you had a broken marriage and maybe you had a hit and run and you left that guy on the side of the road. Nobody knows about it, but you do. And that stuff rots away and eats at you. And you're left with that rot and that feeling, which is kind of like dreaming. My settings are
that
feelings.
Sounds terrible.
You're left with that for the rest of eternity. That's your hell.
So
and
you're
the same
you're
on the other side of it. Same goes for heaven.
So-
if you find yourself at peace when you die, you're at peace for the rest of eternity.
Well, what you're talking about is described as limbo.
Yeah,
People who
kind of.
can't
Yeah,
move on.
yeah.
People who can't
You're
move
just
on.
like a soul. Well, luckily for me, I'm doing all my ghosting on Tinder, so I think I'll just die.
Social media lounge. What do you think? Am I right? Is that heaven or hell, or am I just crazy? You know what? Don't even answer. Let's just get the hell
Let's
away
get
from
the
religion.
hell away from that.
I'm taking a break. Belly, take us to break. We're going to an early break today. I want to get into platonic friendships.
I want to get back to the names thing too.
We'll do that in the third segment, like we planned on. Jesus, you guys are all over the place today. This is great. All right,
I thought I
so
was tired.
the social media lounge says 7-0 touchdown for Potts. We'll take a very, very quick break, and when we get back, we'll do platonic friendships that are impossible to exist or maintain. We'll do it next. It's Lucdogg in the morning
at litmradio.com.
Restaurant puts a unique twist on fast casual dining by starting with only the freshest ingredients to slow cook delicious melodies of tastes and colors that are sure to delight your senses. Whether you're craving the Chipotle pulled pork sliders, honey basil chicken tacos, or the infamous kitchen sink wrap, Marinate has something for everybody with tons of vegetarian options too. It's the perfect choice of catering for your offices or events with fast and friendly service from a brand new store on Melrose and Western. Stop by today, or you can order online at marinateyourlife.com.
Yay for Taco Tuesday! Don't forget, buy one, get one free. All damn day!
Tacos, wraps, sliders, and sides. Slow cooked to perfection at Marinate Restaurant. marinateyourlife.com.
What's up, y'all? It's Maddie Mads here. This show is sponsored by TTR Studios. Whether it's weddings, parties, karaoke, audio, video production, and all your entertainment needs, call TTR Studios, LLC at 703-850-2223 or check them out at ttrevents.com. Start the show, Looch.
Lucdogg in the morning.
That's Belly chilling us out with a little chill music right here on Lucdogg in the morning, hanging out on TTR Studios right here at YouTube. Thank you for hanging out with us, ladies and gentlemen. Today was fun. So I get a whole lot of crap for being on this show, a little bit ADD, and I have a habit of just kind of being all over the place. Sometimes we'll intro a topic at the beginning of the show and we never get to it.
Yeah, right.
We do it almost
almost every show.
Habitually. So that happens.
ADD 101 should be the name of the show today.
You're like, hey, we're going to talk about this and my one wheel. And then we talk about, religion and dying. It's great.
But today, my co-hosts, who are goddamn impressive, have a little bit of the ADD bug. Because I swear to God, just to peel it back so you guys know how this show started, it was literally Potts. This is at 9:58 and 30 seconds. This is a minute and a half from air. Potts says, yeah, that'd be great and all, unless you have a story or something to get us into it, because, you telling a story is a really good way to get the listeners into it.
It's a warm-up.
And the moment I said something about Potts having something with dating names, boom, there we go, dating names. It's like, okay, I guess we're starting there. And that's,
I'm sorry.
That's the beauty.
I thought that was my lead-in.
No, that's the beauty of this show, is that you really have no idea what could happen. Some people don't like that. If you don't like that and it rubs you the wrong way, that we can get a little random and we can hit our tangents, I apologize. This show is not for you, though, because that is this show.
We have no idea where the show is.
That's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of it. Who wants to sit there and listen to a planned out podcast? I mean, I get it. I'm not saying we don't prep. We do our prep, but we do this organically so that it sounds entertaining and that it's not just so beating you over the head with structure and form and scripts and ugh. So Platonic Friendships.
So I'm all tucked in. I'm ready for story time now.
All right, let's do it because that's well done.
2 touchdowns?
I mean,
we're only 2 segments in. Oh,
you guys are competing. It's 7-7. All right, so, yeah, this is what happened. I have an ex-girlfriend that I'm kind of dealing with some things. Obviously, there are feelings there still, I think.
Can exes be platonic, though?
No. No, and we're trying for that. A platonic ex-friendship is what we're kind of
never going to happen.
Never going to happen. I know. So you're
especially not with you.
Well, okay, that's fair.
I don't mean man, I don't mean that as a bad thing. That came across, but like you, and you know, I give you so much shit and talk, but like you're a good guy, and yeah, unfortunately, the good guy ends up in Friendville a lot of times. But like, who cares, man? You answered to yourself at the end of the day. I don't think you answered to God or any of this. Going back to that, you answer to yourself, and as I'm getting older, I realize you just got to make yourself happy, man. Like you really can't give a fuck about what anyone thinks. And
well, he's right.
He's right. And if you want to try to be a friend, then be a friend. Fuck it. It's not going to work, but try it.
All right.
Now he's right.
Yeah.
However, it's very difficult to do when there's feelings going on. However, Potts, Belly and I were discussing this and we brought it up. She has a friend, Potts, that going back to even when we were dating, I mean, literally back to like when she was like 20, like 15, like I don't know how old, whatever. Like 10, 15 years ago, they've been friends. They lived together in Hawaii. They lived together in the East Coast. They're just close. Like when she was married, like he lived in the basement. You know what I mean? Like this is like a brother to her. They have never hooked up. Probably a 15-year friendship. They both now live in the same city, right here in DC. I don't know if she changes in front of him, but I wouldn't put it past her. In a way that
would be
weird. That with no thinking that anything would come out of it, she would just like see him as a girlfriend.
You had me all the way up until that.
I don't know if that's true either. I really don't know if she would, but I'm saying it wouldn't surprise me. That's how close they are. It's almost like Erin Hannigan, I think is her last name in The Office, when Andy goes over on the sick day to date her, and she's got that foster brother who's not really a brother, but it's her foster brother, and they're too close, and they're tickling each other's feet, and all kinds of shit, and weird, and Andy's like, what the hell's happening? That's kind of what I'm telling you about. I'm not saying she's doing anything wrong. I'm asking, is there really no attraction there? There has to be, right? There has to be. I'm not saying they want to screw each other. I'm saying that is not strictly platonic. If he dropped all of his guards and she showed up naked and said, "Listen, I don't want this to turn into something. One time I really want to bang you." Are you telling me he says no?
I'm fairly certain he says yes.
Fairly?
He says yes, but the friendship relationship you're describing is 100% possible, and if that's the zone they're in, then they're not going to have sex.
Would that bother you if that was your girlfriend and she had that friend? It didn't bother me. I actually really like this guy, and he was almost like a brother to me. I was like, yo, man, I need you to, like, I can't be there tonight. Can you help out with something like he was like a go-to. But
it's like a backup husband. That's great.
It's tough. It takes a lot of trust. It took a lot of trust. Could you trust your girlfriend to have that kind of a friend?
The thing that would bother me is my girlfriend possibly having a more emotional, closer connection with another guy than me. I'm not even worried about the sex. If I lay it down, if you lay it down to a girl, she's not going to go look to fuck other guys. But the emotional thing, especially for a female, is way more important on every level. And that would really, really bother me.
Agreed, Potts. And we were talking about this pre-show as well. I mean, it's the emotional cheating levels and what constitutes it, what kind of defines it, and
is it
how
even a
does
thing?
It really affect the relationship?
Define emotional cheating. What is that? Is that a thing?
It's where all the emotional baggage you have in a relationship is being worked out with someone else not in the relationship, and that can be a same-sex friend. I mean, it's like, you go out and you vent about your girlfriend, but you don't talk about your issues with your girlfriend. Like, say you just go out with your boys and all you do is just vent and vent and vent and vent.
Okay, I don't find that to be emotional cheating. I find that to be healthy.
I don't either.
No, that's not emotional cheating.
It's healthy, but it's
because you don't have any attraction to your boys.
You start to need to address it.
Yeah, but you don't have any attraction to your boys.
But if it starts to do with opposite sex, then it could definitely lead into that.
Put it this way: what if your ex is coming to you to feel better about life and things that are going on? And that you're the one that they go to for that and not their significant other. That's emotional cheating.
Or any of their other same-sex friends.
Yeah, that's a little inappropriate, I would think.
Especially going back to an ex.
Because Belly and I were talking about emotional cheating big time. Like, could that guy, like, you could take it, like, if she's dating, if me and her are dating, and we'll just call him Bob. Bob is her platonic friend. If we get into a fight, and then she goes and lays on the couch with Bob and says, Bob, can I just come over? I'm really sad. I need somebody to talk to. Can you just cuddle me? And they just talk about what she and I just went through and how she's feeling about that. Yeah, it's friendship, but is part of that inappropriate?
Well, how many times has a conversation like that been had with you personally? Like, you probably seem like someone leans on a lot.
Oh, people do that to me all the time. And then I'm realizing people are like, you guys are telling me, hey, you're emotionally cheating. And I'm like, oh, shit.
Well, it's like
maybe I am.
There's a line you can cross where it's like, all right, you need to saddle up, talk to your significant other about this and not me. Is there a line you tell them that?
Yeah, that's been said. I can see that being. I can see that.
And not to like talk trash, but do you think they're coming to you because they look at you as I don't know how to say this right, but like harmless? Like you're they said, you're a nice guy. Like they know you're not going to take advantage of the situation, so they feel comfortable. And I mean that in the best way. I mean, because 99% of guys are fucking pigs, and I think you should be proud of who you are as a person because you are a really nice guy. And it's so funny is I have all of my friends are like really nice, loyal people, and I feel like a lot of times I'm the shithead. And it's good to surround yourself with those people because I like to be influenced by positive forces. So honestly, I like to surround myself. Good way to
live, Belly. I think it's fair to say a good description of Potts. Sweetest guy on the planet. Way too all bark, no bite.
We'll tell you to go fuck yourself.
Absolutely, but it's all bark. It's all bark.
True.
Because to be honest with you, before we started doing the show, he intimidated the shit out of me as a cousin.
Really?
He used to scare me.
Why is that?
Oh, dude, because you're kind of badass looking. You're like this good looking, tatted up, like very in your face personality like I am, but like more badass. And like, I don't know. I was just kind of like, I kind of want to be like him.
You've owned 3 motorcycles, Adam. Don't give yourself some credit.
Yeah, I mean, you're way more. Yeah, I got to be honest. You're probably more of a badass than me.
But I appreciate you saying nice things. I think you're right. I do think you're right. Yeah, I'm an easy target there. I'm like a pillow. It's like, well, just come to me and you can just kind of like stab me a couple times and feel better.
Well, I mean, the question is, would your girlfriend have a problem with all these exes coming to you, asking for love advice? I mean, that's what I would be pissed about.
That's a good question.
That's a good question, Potts, and I think the answer to that is obviously like Adam's not someone who's gonna, when he's with someone, if there's something where he feels like, all right, my exes are coming to me and this is obviously having effect on my current relationship,
It's inappropriate.
I'm going to be focusing on my current relationship.
Okay, that's a great point because I'm single, so all of this stuff is kind of in the gray area of appropriate world. However, I can tell you right now, if I were to date somebody, like seriously, tomorrow I start a relationship, I can tell you right now they're not going to enjoy a platonic friendship between me and my ex.
No.
That's not right.
Of course not. It's not. You know,
it's okay
I don't
to be
know.
cordial
I mean,
to an
some
ex.
might say it's not appropriate.
I'm stuck, Potts. I'm stuck because I either keep that ex in my life as a friend because I do care about her. She cares about me.
But you should care about all your exes because you shared something of an experience that both of you loved each other.
And a lot of girls would look at that as a plus and be like, oh, he's a good guy. I mean, a lot of girls are like, if you're at feuding, ended all your relationships on bad terms, like that's most girls would look at that as bad.
It's more of a red flag when you're going and calling all your exes crazy bitches.
Never would do that. But yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. I guess instead of do platonic friends exist, can you have a platonic friendship with your ex and date somebody else? The answer probably is no. And that's
9 times out of 10, it's no.
And that's why I'm stuck right now. It's a really sad feeling because I don't want to cut her out of my life. She's one of my best friends. However, it's not a friendship. Don't tell me it's a friendship.
Yeah, I feel like,
it's not.
I don't know. Just from what you're saying, I just feel like she's using you as a fucking crutch.
And I don't want to paint her like that because I don't think she's doing anything like that on purpose. I don't think she's doing anything intentionally. She's not a bad person by any means. Like I said, she's one of my favorite people on the planet. And I'm not doing this to talk about her. I just thought this was an interesting situation to bring to everybody because the platonic friend, the whole ex thing, a lot of people backslide into their exes. I mean, that happens all the time.
Oh, of course.
But once you date somebody else, and that's what I'm wondering if, like, maybe she doesn't realize is, like, this can't continue if I date somebody else. This isn't just a friendship. And if she sees it as a friendship, then that's another reason I got to just bail. Because it's like, this isn't. I don't.
It's not just a friendship.
It hurts, man. It's so hard. It really does. And I don't want to come in here and complain on radio, but, like, I think it's good for you guys to see the real sides of us. And that's why I've been, like, in the dumps for the last week. Because it's really hurt. It's like either I'm losing a really close friend now, or it's like now we're breaking up almost. Like, and I don't want to say that, but that's almost what it feels like. It's like we either are going to turn this into something again, or this ain't right.
Yeah, and we've talked about this before. No relationship will work with an ex or in a lot of other situations if you're not on the exact same emotional level. If one person cares about the other person more, it's not going to work.
And 9 times out of 10,
be on the same page as far as, all right, we're platonic and really mean it. Otherwise, you're fucking yourself.
And 9 times out of 10, it's even then, most times those old feelings will rehash themselves at some point or another because something that they do that you always used to love about them, they will continue to do. They're not going to change that about themselves. So it's like you have that deja vu, and you go into graduation goggles, and everything gets like that.
571-354-7338. There is a commenter in the social media lounge that is losing her freaking mind right now. Mandy, call in. I need you right now. 571-354-7338. I'm loving your comments. Let's get them on air. Can you call us, please? We'll get you set up. Mandy, I need you. 571-354-7338. Give us a call. Because there's a lot of good stuff.
Why do I feel like I'm about to get ambushed?
No. I think, well, here's what it says. It says, I don't care if you're being a good guy and you're still there for your exes. It's a problem if you put them before me as your girlfriend. And then another texter writes, ding, ding, ding. And then that original texter wrote, it happened to me and I brought it up, but it didn't change. I'm going to need that phone call right now. 571-354-7338. I'm going to need to talk to you.
Yeah. She'll probably be calling here in just a second. She's on a delay.
While we're waiting for her, can I just... We're still kind of talking about dating. Who's the oldest person you would feel comfortable dating? How old?
Oh, save that for no. Save that for round 3. Yeah, save that for round 3 because I got a whole bunch of texts now coming in. A lot of physicists have discovered that there is a God. Einstein believed in God. How about that? What do you think about that?
Who discovered there's God? Because that's funny. It'd be all over the news. I'm
Einstein,
pretty sure.
bro.
But thanks.
All right, let's do this thing.
Press 1. Can I say, didn't Stephen Hawking spend like a bunch of time debunking some of like Einstein's theories and stuff?
Let's ask Amanda Thompson. Mandy, what's up, girl? Welcome to the show.
Thanks. A little conflicted about being here right now.
Oh, okay.
Oh, conflicted, yeah.
All right, so this is Thamanda Crompson. That's her name, Thamanda Crompson. And now, listen, we don't want to push you, but just as much as you can, would you let us know what you're feeling right now? Because you seem to be kind of freaking out in the chats over there. Is this hitting home?
I mean, I wouldn't say I'm freaking out, but yeah, it's super true. I seem to end up dating these like super nice guys who really want to still be there for, you know, other people in their lives, and a lot of them are girls, and they feel like they can go to these guys because, you know, they're nice and they're not going to take advantage of them, which is great. And, you know, that's the kind of person that I want to be dating. But, you know, sometimes, at least in this particular situation, you know, this boyfriend would put those friends before me, you know, and our plans would suffer for it. You know, he'd have to cancel on something or he'd be unavailable. And
yeah, that's
you can't be doing that.
To the point where I kind of feel jealous about this now, you know, and I don't appreciate, like, one time this happened on Valentine's Day, dude. That's effed up.
No, you gotta focus on the main girl.
Potts, she's not wrong, right? I mean, that's completely fair.
100% right. And I mean, and that's the problem, is then you start putting that person before. You know, you start putting that person before your girlfriend, who should be the center of all your attention. The second you shift your attention to someone else, you're wrong. You're in the wrong.
She just said she broke up with him for that reason. So, Mandy, I guess is that a deal breaker for you? If a guy that you're into, you start dating for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and you're head over heels, and then all of a sudden you realize he's got a strong platonic friendship with an ex, how are you going to handle that?
Oh, that's no problem, especially at 2 or 3 weeks in. It's when it becomes a systemic problem, you know, when you're months or years in, and you're like, look, dude, this is an issue that you're making them a priority and you're not making me a priority. Yeah. That's when it's a problem. You know, it's all about communication. If you can bring it up to this person, and you should be able to, because you're dating them. Maybe after 2 or 3 weeks you're bring it up, but, you know, once it gets serious, you know, you should be able to bring that up. And once that's happened, if it still continues to be an issue, that's when it's a deal breaker.
Belly?
I mean, it's one of those things, and I'm sure Mandy can relate to this. It's when they're basically dropping everything at a moment's notice for someone else.
What about, I don't know, Mandy,
that's a bad
what if
red
it's,
flag.
Obviously that's terrible, but Mandy, what if it's like just a platonic friendship where they're not putting you first, or putting the other person first? Like, let's say you and me are dating, but I'm not putting my ex first. However, I will call my ex and say, hey, you want to go watch a movie? Do you want to go get a beer? Is that going to bother you? Because I think that bothers a lot of people.
It bothers me.
That doesn't bother me, though. Like, I don't mind if you have those friendships. What I'm saying is, like, you know, all right, so I wasn't going to dive into the Valentine's Day story, but let's dive into the Valentine's Day story. Because why not air my feelings for the internet?
Yes.
So, like, I had plans with this dude, and, you know, I'm not necessarily, like, married to the idea of Valentine's Day being, like, the most important romantic day of the year, but we did have plans. And some friend of his, I don't think an ex, I think a platonic friend, I'm not sure, I didn't get a lot of details on this, but she was having some sort of a crisis, and he was like, she needs somewhere to go, like, I'm going to let her stay in the guest room here, and I can't go out this week.
And that, I'm guessing, didn't go over well?
No. I mean, I tried to be chill about it at first, but it really did bother me. And I ended up being like, look, this is a huge problem that you would cancel our plans to accommodate her crisis. Like, I appreciate that you're helping people with a crisis. I think people who are having crises need good friends that aren't going to take advantage of them.
Potts is going to jump in here, Mandy. That was perfect. Potts, go ahead. What do you got for her?
Well, did he plan a makeup date? That's the thing.
That's a good question.
It's really bad to cancel on Valentine's Day, but if you bounce back with something that's like super romantic,
did he make up for it, Mandy? Did he plan a makeup date in like to fix it, or was it just kind of like, yeah, this happened?
I don't remember what he did to make up for it.
Probably not enough.
That's not a good sign.
No, we ended up together, so he must have done something, but I don't remember what it was.
Mandy, thank you for your input. I know it's not easy to just jump on the internet and air your feelings, but we need that. We need a female voice every now and then. Jess, feel free to call in if we're wrong, or if we're right. We'd love to hear from you too. That is Amanda. Thank you very much. We appreciate you, Mandy.
Talk to you later.
All right, bye, girl. Good job. All right. Wow. Today is getting somewhere. God exists or doesn't. You can have friendships with exes, or can you? We're just going to make you think today. Woo!
Yeah.
So how about we finish the show strong with
Answering all of life's questions.
I was going to say, should Belly have a
Morning.
threesome? Should Belly have a threesome later on tonight? That is the question we will lead the segment with when we get back. It's Lucdogg in the morning.
At litmradio.com.
You come inside, soaking wet for sure. Seen a lot of looks from you, never broken at my door. Here, just settle down and breathe your breath real deep. Feel the wind inside your lungs and get back on your feet, she said to me. I'm trying just so hard to understand the way you think. I think I need a drink or two or three before I sink into that world you're living in, the one where you can't win. I know that you are tired of hurting, so why don't you begin? She said to me when I was down beneath the ground, you're all I need. When I was dead to everything, that's you that you damn me. Stand back before I let you in on a surprise. I'm not as strong as you once saw. I'm wearing a disguise, and it's made of memories and photographs from back inside. I can't imagine anymore just what it's like to try. How do you go on when you just beat yourself up all day? She said to me when I was down beneath the ground, you're all I need. When I was dead to everything, she believed in me. How do you go on when you just don't know? How do you go on when you can't let go? She said to me when I was down beneath the ground, you're all I need. When I was dead to everything, she believed in me.
Welcome back, folks. It's your boy Lucdogg in the morning here, hanging out with Belly, Matt LaBelle, and Maddie Potts from the Santa Monica Newsroom. That is music from us right here, To the Rescue.
By us, he means him. That was Lucdogg doing that music right there.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Oh, God, here it comes. More of it? This is me rapping all the above with Coach Reed. I'm just going to give you 30 seconds. Remember that song, T-Pain and Mano, All the Above? Potts needs this in his life. That's Coach Reed. That's me. Just wait for the rapping. Here you go. Sorry. I'm only going to do this for 30 seconds. So actually, when I did this, I was teaching in Fairfax County Public Schools, and all my students heard this, and all the comments were like, wow, Mr. C, you sound black. It's like, that's racist. So this is what I'm talking about when the verse kicks in about 5 seconds. Here you go. This is me rapping. T-Pain and Mano's All the Above.
Tell me, what do you see when you're looking at me? See me come up from nothing, see me living my dreams. I done been to the bottom, I done suffered a lot. I deserve to be rich, headed straight to the top. Look how I rap from the backwards right now.
Mr. C, you sound black.
You definitely have a deeper voice than that.
I actually tried to channel my rapper, my inner rapper,
cool.
if I could. God, I love doing that stuff. So yeah, welcome to the show again. Thank you. We're going to end with a little bit of fun. Belly's going to have a threesome tonight. Is he?
I mean, not necessarily.
Walk
There's
us through
never
it.
a guarantee.
What's going on?
I go out all the time and grab drinks with people, and well, actually, I go and grab drinks with just myself, but I basically go out to bars with always have hot bartenders. Well, tonight I'm going to probably meet up with two of those bartenders that I usually hang out with.
It's like a thing, okay?
Outside of them working.
I don't want you guys to just think he just likes to go out and grab a beer after work. I'm telling you, if he gets off at 6 o'clock, he usually gets home at about 2 o'clock in the morning. He's a bartender. But if he gets off at 6 p.m., he's still not coming home until 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, I need to keep my sleep schedule right, all right?
All he does, because he works in a town center, and when Amanda came and visited, she said, what the hell are all these town centers? It's like every little city in Northern Virginia has its own little mini-city within it. And there's the Dulles Town Center, the Fairfax Town Center, and he works in the Reston Town Center where there's like 8 or 9, 10 restaurants and bars.
Yep.
So once he gets off, Potts, he just makes his circuit and hits all the bartenders he knows and drinks for free.
Not for free fully, but I always pay for food.
There you go. So now two of his favorite he always says to me, probably going to go out tonight. My bartenders are working. He loves these girls.
Yeah. They're great.
So
They're
now from there,
girls. They tell great stories. Well, no, I mean, I don't expect anything. Let's draw the bottom line right there. Me, I'm not expecting anything at all to happen whatsoever.
Then why did you ask us if you should have a threesome pre-show?
All right, so I didn't have any I don't have any expectations. I have wild dreams. I dream big, but dreams never come to fruition, folks. No.
He's like Aaron Judge. He might strike out, but if he makes contact, that ball's gone.
Exactly.
I mean, the thing about a threesome is, like, what do you do?
Well, that you've already.
Like, I mean, honestly, it's
only
so
one way
fun
to find
talk
out,
about,
Potts.
and but that's two girls and you have one dick, and like honestly, it's just so much going on.
I don't know
really,
why you would feel more comfortable in a threesome with another dude because it's less work for you. That's his. He said this many times. He would rather a devil's three-way, which is two dudes and a girl, because that's less he has to focus on.
Right.
I don't get it, dude. No, I mean that's fine.
Yeah, I have no problem with it, and that's like no homo. That's how it is. I mean, I
feel
like I would perform better.
You can't view it as you have to please two. It's an equal partnership of three people pleasing each other. Well,
put it this way. I have a little bit of experience in this world. Not that I've had one. I was a room away from having one. Definitely a room away. All I had to do was...
you heard it through the walls?
Well, no, he could just have walked in.
No, all I had to do was walk into the room. I was told the next morning all I had to do was enter the room, and it would have happened. However...
Why didn't you enter the room?
It's just a long story I don't want to get into. However, let me just tell you, since that day, I have had the biggest crush on the girl that I didn't...
The third.
The third girl, because it didn't happen. I have like this massive crush on her now. However... What I've been told by people who have done this, or I mean, believe me, it's a lot more common than you think. If you're dating somebody and you want to have a threesome, it's more like the two of you are not using. I don't want to use the word using, but you are looking at that third as a
toy,
as a plaything. Correct. It's not somebody you're going to have an attachment to. You're not going to do it more than once, and that person should not sleep over. By the way.
Right, but he's not with either one of these girls, so it's going to be they're both playthings, right? Like,
but if that's true, that is true. You're the plaything. Actually, he's the plaything.
I'm the plaything.
Yeah.
They have an established relationship. I would be the plaything.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
So you would have to almost, and believe me, because you're going to have this mindset. Let's coach him up. Potts, can we coach him up on how to do this tonight? Social media.
I got to be honest. I don't think the guy needs our help. It sounds like he's. I mean, the
blue eyes, deep voice. All I need, baby.
No. He's going to be great. I want tips on how to have a successful threesome as a guy with 2 girls. You can't. You got to last, man.
That's fine.
You got to last.
That's fine.
Yeah.
You know, so basically,
you
you're
got to
there.
your tongue and you're good with your fingers, or
No
you're going to be
problem.
out of equipment real quick.
No problems.
But I mean, I've done it. I've been in a couple situations. I mean, I was in, 2 guys and 1 girl, but to be perfectly honest, I was so fucked up I couldn't get hard, so that was a big fail.
Potts, I'm looking at this article I just pulled up. 15 things nobody tells you about having a threesome. The first one, it's nothing like porn. There are body parts making funny farty noises, slapping against each other, sweating profusely, and a lot of readjusting position. But best leave your video camera at home.
Yeah.
Oh man.
That's usually where the video camera is, right at home in the bedroom.
I just don't even like watching porn like that because there's too much going on. Honestly, I'm pretty kind of old fashioned in that way. Just a guy and a girl.
I think. Well, here are some tips for you. It says try not to pair off, Belly. You don't want to just focus on one girl too much.
Yeah.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah, that's it. But now you just said it right off the bat. Now I'm stressing out because I'm like, am I paying too much attention to her? Did I get her off but not her? I mean, this is what's going to be going on in my head, and I imagine yours too, Luch, because you're like a pleaser. So it's like you're going to be more stressed out than enjoying it.
Tip number 9: your mouth will never be closed.
That's what I just said. I told you. Yeah.
Jesus Christ. No. Tip number 11: best friends and boyfriends don't mix. Don't do it.
Right. That goes without saying. I mean, don't plan on ever talking to that person again. It's going to be like a never-ending walk of shame if you do that.
Right.
If you're with your partner, discuss your terms. Can you have sex with the other person? Is that off limits? What do you think about that rule? We can have a threesome, but you can't have sex with the other girl. If your girlfriend said that to you, what are your thoughts there?
I think that that stipulation is probably part of a lot of threesomes with serious relationships. They're just trying to, especially on a first timer.
Fair or unfair, though? Fair or unfair? Should you be able to sleep with the other girl? I think it's fair. If she doesn't want you to, hey, at least I'm letting you I'm letting us do this.
As long as the other one knows too.
Yeah.
That ain't happening.
Right.
So, Belly, I think you need to. What are ways to make yourself last, Potts? Because he's going to need this.
Jeez,
He's going to need this if this happens.
Wear a condom.
Okay, that's of course. But
seriously,
there are definitely tips on this. I know a buddy of mine used to say that he would take himself through each room in his house. So he would picture walking from each room in his house while it's happening.
I mean, yeah.
No, that doesn't seem fun. Like
you take the fun out of it.
Like,
whatever.
But
I'm not worried about it.
Can I put a point out there that actually is?
Like I said, no expectation.
Well, yeah, and we were just making a joke. We don't actually think this is going to happen. But if it does, you better come back with the story, man.
Yeah, that's right.
But,
Wednesday will be a great show. Tune in.
Yeah, Belly, while you're in bed, just say, ladies, whatever happens here, I'm talking about the show. Put that disclaimer so we can talk about it. That's all.
Tip number 14: decide if it's a secret.
Apparently, no is the answer to that.
Let me throw this out here. Potts might actually. This might enlighten.
Sorry, Mom. I should have told you to earmuff it on before this conversation got going.
Well, in all seriousness, Belly didn't know we were going to take this to the air, but it was just too much. It's too gold. Here's a point though that I think Potts might actually appreciate. We talked about this in the One Wheel podcast, which we do Tuesdays at 11 o'clock right here at TTR Studios on YouTube. It's called The Voice of One Wheel. And it's all about the electric skateboard that I ride. I'm super giddy about it. It's awesome. All right, but what we discussed on the very first show, actually, the first guy that came on, his name was Bodie Harrison. And he's like one of the best riders out there. When I want to do something for real and go into do a trick, to focus, I say I'm going to go into bode mode. That's what I've coined the phrase, bode mode. And now that's a thing that people in the community say. It's awesome.
You're telling me for the threesome, go into bode mode.
You do not need to be in bode mode. What I need you to understand... Well, you do. And here's what I'm saying.
You need to be in bone mode.
But here's the thing.
Bone mode.
Here, let me get this out. I got 3 minutes, and then we'll have 3 minutes of response. Let me get this out.
Yeah, 3 minutes of not talk about names of significant others that match your parents.
No, we're clearly not going to get to that. Goddamn ADD. We'll do that on Monday.
Is Belly out for the count? Did we
have a show on Monday?
I think we got him, Belly.
I need a warning for Belly. All right, so
Yeah, it's called the 5-minute alarm where we don't get to what we were supposed to talk about.
Right.
Oh, that's
where
actually
where we try to jam everything that was supposed to be in the show in like 3 minutes time. Right. Oh crap, we're almost out of time.
Quick jam session, real quick.
Right.
All right, those are one wheel sounds.
So my advice for tonight,
hold
the show, and everything else is just jam it in.
Just jam it in.
Right. Just jam it in. There we go. That's the lesson learned today. Your life hack. Jam.
Here's what I will leave you with: gentlemen who would like to last longer, and women who would like to one wheel better. Because I don't know.
Because they're equal.
What the hell? I didn't even hear what you just said. What?
All right.
I'm still,
everyone stop.
In my mind, Belly right now is
he's out
in boots with 2 hot chicks. Okay. He's like thinking about. I don't even.
Okay. Back it up. Slow it down.
If all the listeners are watching this, are you seeing what's going on here on this YouTube?
Oh, he's a
feed
mess.
Right now?
Yeah, they're all seeing him. He's lost his mind over here. Now, here's what I would like to put out. Now I have 4 minutes. Bode mode. When you went. If you want to do a trick in front of somebody, Potts, if you're riding your one wheel and you see a smoking hot chick coming up, like on the side of the road, it's very common to try to show off and fail.
Of course.
It happens all the time. People write comments about this all the time. Why is it every time I try to show off for somebody, I fail? I do something completely stupid that I never do if I'm by myself. And I say, it's because you got out of bode mode. You started thinking about things from their perspective, and you're not now thinking from your perspective. You're not focused anymore. And that is the trick to lasting. You're right. I want to think about it from their perspective. I want to see how cool I look from their mind. If I was in the Final Four in March Madness, you have to be in bode mode. You can't think about the circumstances. You can't take all of the distractions in. You've got to push all that out. And somebody like Potts would say, but wait a minute. That doesn't seem as much fun as if I was experiencing all of this, the media.
Eat it up, baby.
It's the same thing with sex. You got to take yourself out of that mindset and not be thinking about it. You can't. You might have to take a step back and not enjoy it as much at first until you could see she's definitely had her fun time, and now it's time for you to enjoy it. You got to let her go first, man.
So no, I'd never date anyone with my parents' names.
So you would not date anybody with your parents' names? Fantastic.
Ladies, enjoy it because it's not going to last long.
Today was one of my favorite shows of all time. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out. This has been a blast. We went from religion to threesomes to platonic friendships and the bode mode. There you go. So thanks for hanging out, guys. Potts, what do you want to leave the people with?
You can follow me at Marinate Your Life, at shut_up_Matty, M-A-T-Y, on Instagram. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great day, and you can kindly go fuck yourselves.
There he goes. Matty Potts from the Santa Monica Newsroom. Thank you, brother. Belly, you have killed it today. We've killed you. Are you okay?
I'm okay.
How's it going to end up tonight? What are you going to leave the people with?
What I'm going to leave with the people with is I'm going to be doing fine no matter what happens tonight because always have a nice positive attitude.
We're obviously kidding with you. He doesn't expect to have a threesome tonight, but goddamn if you do, we're going to be cheering.
Yeah, me too.
Will you come back with stories?
Of course.
All right, fantastic. We'll do that next week. Thank you guys for hanging out. We will get into more of the dating names and dating ages. We'll do that on Wednesday next week. Make sure you hang out on Tuesday. The Voice of One Wheel, 11 o'clock. For Matty Potts and Belly Matt LaBelle, it's your boy Lucdogg in the morning. From TTR Studios.
From TTR Studios, that you can always find us at litmradio.com.
See you guys.